So I'm honored to address you, a group in this room that is so focused on promoting Labrador businesses and partnerships around every single sector in Labrador, and certainly your involvement in relationships within the island portion of our province as well. But I also want to take a minute to acknowledge a close friend of mine who is not with us today, has been mentioned as my federal colleague, and that's the Member of Parliament, that's the MP Yvonne Jones. Now, I think everyone in this room would know how passionately that Yvonne works for the people of Labrador. And yesterday, MP Jones, along with our provincial minister, Sherry Gammon-Walsh, announced some $75,000 for the construction of what is a 3-bedroom home for a low-income family in Happy Valley Goose Bay. And today, they are attending the grand opening of the Courtyard Place in Labrador City. And what this is the Labrador West Housing and Homelessness Coalition's affordable housing project in Labrador City. And what this project will do is will support single parents and families and individuals requiring supportive housing. So as Premier and as Minister, as Janine said, of Labrador and Aboriginal Affairs, I'm very proud of these programs and the announcements that were made in Labrador these last few days. And I can assure you, investments like these will continue, especially when it comes to supporting families that are in need. But today has already been mentioned and outlined that we have many special guests in this room, but I also want to recognize the Grand Chief of the Innu Nation, Anastasia Kupi, the President of Nunatuva, Todd Russell. I'm going to get the opportunity to meet Todd again later this afternoon. And we have many representatives here from Nunatuva government. Many of you I had a chance to meet when I came into the room. It's already been mentioned that Karen Olford is here as Mayor of Labrador City, but Karen, let's not forget, is also President of Municipalities, Newfoundland and Labrador. I saw Jamie Snook over here at a table. Jamie is a Mayor for Happy Valley Goose Bay. It's been mentioned that Perry's here. Perry Trimper is doing a great job in our government and making sure that he adds that extra voice for his own constituency and representing Labrador. We see Graham Lettles, I mentioned, who is not here. Graham's with Sherry Gammon-Walsh and MP Jones in Labrador West today at this particular announcement. We have Randy here, Chair of our caucus, Lisa here, Deputy House Speaker in the House of Assembly. All of these are a very vocal and very committed people representing our Labrador caucus, and we get the opportunity to meet on a very regular basis. Matter of fact, just last week, the Labrador caucus had an opportunity to meet with the office. Chris Mitchamore is here in his capacity as business, trade, and rural development. So it's great to see so many of your elected officials here. But I also want to mention one other one that's in the room. We have Cindy Jenkins here from the Prime Minister's office. So Cindy will be around the room and attending some sessions now over the next few days. But I am here today really at the invite of your chair, Sterling Payton, and I say thank you for this opportunity to address the Labrador North Chamber of Commerce. So what we have is a conference and a trade show that attracts a wealth of people and organizations that are really committed to advancing economic development in Labrador. And make no mistake, Labrador is a region that has some of the greatest economic development potential in the country. And our government shares this room's commitment to realizing the full economic prospects of the big land. So today, what I want to do is focus my comments on actions that we are taking to stimulate development throughout Labrador. And I want to speak to this really in the reference of the conference's session themes, which are Labrador's resource development future, how we utilize research and innovation toward northern economic development, building northern capacity, and Aboriginal engagement. Now, a project that captures all of these themes, of course, would be the Muskrat Falls project. And this project is not just on the minds of people, it is a topic of conversations in coffee shops, around family dinners, I would suggest open line shows. It's really a project that is referenced with great passion, and it is more than deserving of some discussion here today. Now, when our government took over office a year ago, inheriting the Muskrat Falls project from the previous administration, well, that was a certainty. And after having some strong concerns for the project while in opposition, it wasn't without irony that my administration and I were now tasked with the incredible responsibility of writing the course. And as you know, the project exceeded and still exceeds its original cost estimates and has raised some environmental concerns. And it became clear that because of the commitments made by the previous administration, that it was now necessary to complete the project. So in light of all of that, our government made a commitment to improve the status of the Muskrat Falls project, increasing the oversight and manage Muskrat Falls with a goal to complete it with as much success as possible. And for us, and for me, this includes mitigating the cost of rates to the people of our province. And as part of our commitment to better manage the project, we put in place a new CEO, and we've established a new board of directors. And working with our federal partners, our government has secured a commitment from the Government of Canada to provide an additional loan guarantee support for the project up to $2.9 billion. Now, as I noted earlier, we have committed to a new way of managing this project. And that approach was highlighted in October when we engaged in a very incredibly important discussion involving Indigenous leaders. We spoke about concerns about communities during the meeting that lasted to 2 a.m. in the morning. And it was just not a pinnacle moment for the project, but also for myself as Minister of Labrador and Aboriginal Affairs and as Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador. And I am grateful for all the leaders for your contributions for what we achieved on that evening. And I'm also grateful for your ongoing contributions, for the many phone calls, the meetings, the discussions that will guide this project as it develops. So together, we can address concerns about the health and well-being of the people in Labrador. It is also through working together that we can assure businesses like yours secure the best economic outcomes from this project. And through working together, we will develop this project successfully, responsibly, and with the engagement of the people of Labrador. Newfoundland and Labrador has often been called an energy warehouse. We have so much to offer North America as an energy provider, and our potential is increasingly being recognized. Our government has a goal to position Newfoundland and Labrador as an international energy hub. With transmission rights on the Maritime Link, excess power made available from Muskrat Falls, significant potential for new hydro and wind projects throughout the province, Newfoundland and Labrador is well placed to be a prominent player in the North American energy market. Now, Labrador in particular can contribute to capitalize on its tremendous potential as the natural resource sector strengthens. We are focused on helping cultivate these opportunities and support Labrador industries as they grow and continue to prosper. Our way forward, our vision statement that we announced in January, is our government's vision for sustainability and growth. I said January, but it was announced in November. The vision outlines our actions to strengthen the province's economic foundation and create a more prosperous province. There are more than 50 initiatives in the vision, all of which contribute to improving our financial position. These initiatives that support economic development are a big part of our vision for the future of our province. And many of these initiatives will positively impact Labrador. For example, one of the commitments in the vision is to position the province as a preferred global location for oil and gas development. And Labrador can play a key role in attracting investment, as the next licensing round for exploration is scheduled to take place off the coast of Labrador. As part of capitalizing on that, we plan to decrease the time between identifying prospects and getting to production, ensuring that our regulatory environment is consistent with recognized global standards, and we must also always provide and promote opportunities for innovation. We are also engaged in seismic research activity to discover more of the province's oil and gas prospects. And as a result, we now have very high quality data on many offshore prospects, which is attracting global attention. Through this activity, over 20 basins and over 350 leads and prospects have been identified for the provincial offshore oil industry. As this global interest, as highlighted in last year's call for bids, which resulted in a work commitment to close to $758 million. So that is a significant confidence boost for our offshore industry. This call for bids is impressive when you put this in the global environment. There's a lot of competition for this capital money. And in just over a year, we have welcomed 7 new entrants to the province's offshore oil and gas industry. We have companies like Nexen, BP, Canada Oil and Gas, Noble Energy Canada. These are just some of the new players that are coming to Newfoundland and Labrador. They come to a province at a time when we are focused on making our business environment more welcoming than ever. These collective activities reflect the level of opportunity and a bright future for the oil and gas industry in our province. So I invite businesses and economic development agencies to follow this exploration activity, follow it closely, and to watch for opportunities that may be of interest for you. But of course, our natural resource ambitions extend well beyond oil and gas. And they certainly can include mining, which has been a key economic driver in Labrador for decades. Mining is and continues to be a major contributor to our economy, with mineral shipments in 2017 that will reach some $2.8 billion. There are exciting things happening in Voisey's Bay, where the underground mine expansion, that project has started. Tata Steel Minerals in Canada restarted production in the spring of 2016 after a winter shutdown, and ILC is planning to seek sanction for its Wildbush 3 project. New activity is also encouraged by the unexpected surge in the iron pricing late into 2016. So our vision, our way forward, includes a commitment to increase mining activity through targeted promotional efforts and core digitalization. So you might ask what I mean by core digitalization. It is making sure that core sample data is available in electronic formats and broadly sharing it with companies worldwide. So it's really similar to what we do when we share seismic data with oil and gas companies. And we are confident that our additional efforts to promote the industry and share information will build on the recent growth in exploration activity. I'm also pleased to note that approximately 21,000 claims were staked in 2016. This is almost 4 times the amount that was staked in 2015, and the highest that we've had over the last 5 years. Our government is encouraging further exploration through a variety of initiatives, including the public geoscience, efficient and transparent regulation, the core storage program, prospector training and mentoring, and the mineral incentive program. By creating an attractive environment for exploration, we will strengthen the industry and grow jobs and the economy in Labrador and throughout our province. We are also focused on supporting a traditional industry that defines our province. That, of course, is our fishery. Specifically, our vision includes a commitment to support a successful transition to greater activity in the groundfish sector. Work in this area includes establishing a fisheries advisory council to help our government work with industry. And it will also help stakeholders to achieve a successful transition. We're also funding new technology research and marketing activity by industry players through the Seafood Innovation and Transition Program. Some examples of what we've just recently done would be taking place in Labrador, which would include a $73,000 investment to test new herring and capelin fishing technology, some $18,000 to support the development of a whelk fishery. So beyond natural resource investments like mining, like oil, as I talked about the fishery, we are also supporting tourism development throughout the province. There are tremendous opportunities for adventure tourism in Labrador, and we intend to support these opportunities with continued investment in the provincial tourism campaign as well as other supports. So I'm pleased to note that the beauty of the big land is very prominently featured in this year's tourism marketing campaign. Featured attractions that include the Tornegat Mountains, Battle Harbour, and the Lighthouse in Point Amour. Our vision includes a commitment to help the provincial tourism industry to grow. By 2020, Newfoundland and Labrador's annual tourism spending by residents and non-residents will double the 2009 levels. This means we intend to grow tourism spending to $1.6 billion annually and create new employment numbers and new opportunities, and for your businesses to capitalize on this. We have a unique tourism product, and our awareness as a tourism destination is growing. Newfoundland and Labrador now welcomes 500,000 visitors annually. Our tourism industry generates approximately $1 billion, and it employs some 18,000 people. And this year, we saw unprecedented numbers and activity in our tourism industry. So we are proud of what that industry has already achieved, and our focus will now be on how we continue to build on that strength. Of course, to fully develop our tourism potential in the region, and by extension the potential of many other sectors, we need good, solid infrastructure. And in the way forward, we committed to strategically leveraging federal funding at every single opportunity. So thank you, Cindy. Our strong partnership with the federal government is strengthening our ability to make critical investments in infrastructure and new economic opportunities. These initiatives are supporting communities throughout our province. And a real good example, a prime example, would be the joint investment of some $60 million over the past year to further enhance the Trans-Labrador Highway, which is vital to the connectedness of Labrador communities. Now, we are also in discussions with our federal counterparts to cost-share additional projects involving that highway. The work that has been done and the cooperation with our federal MPs, they play a critical role in making such investments possible. And I want to thank people like MP Jones and your Minister, Judy Foote, who's done a remarkable job in advocating on your behalf, as well as the whole team of Newfoundland and Labrador MPs. Now, in addition to investing in infrastructure, we are also supporting research and development to boost economic activity. Labrador is ideally positioned for growth in the area of Arctic research and development, and we have created conditions to support success in this field. The Research Development Cooperation will continue to invest in projects that support advancements in Arctic technology and operations and companies that operate in harsh environments. In addition, our province has a memorandum of understanding with the government of Nunavut, and this to explore economic growth opportunities and promote sustainable development in the Arctic. And we are confident that our efforts to fund research and share information will position our province to take advantage of opportunities in areas such as ocean observation, remote sensing, ice surveillance, things like navigational systems. But I want to reiterate a point that I made earlier. As we proceed with economic development initiatives, our government is committed to maintaining close collaboration with Indigenous governments and organizations. To support that, as part of the way forward, is establishing a leaders' roundtable with Indigenous governments and organizations, with the first such meeting will be happening early this year. At each meeting, I will invite Indigenous leaders to meet and establish priority actions. In this way, we will strengthen our connection with Indigenous communities and mutually advance our goals together. Now, at the outset of my speech, I said that Labrador is a land of great opportunity. Today, I've really only managed to scratch the surface of the many areas where there is potential for economic development in the region. Our vision is intended to help capitalize on the great opportunities that exist in our province, while also improving government services, increasing efficiency, and achieving better outcomes. We set significant goals, and we are committed to reporting back to you on our progress in the coming months, because our government wants to be held to a higher standard. And I know the Labrador North Chamber of Commerce and its partners amongst Indigenous governments and organizations, municipalities, and the business community, you understand the value of pursuing a higher standard. You've been very ambitious in raising awareness throughout our country about opportunities that exist in Labrador, and I commend you for those efforts. And as Premier and as Minister for Labrador and Aboriginal Affairs, I take great pride in knowing so many great organizations that are there to showcase shows, whether they be in Labrador, in St. John's, or it's in Ottawa. So today I will finish up and conclude by wishing you all the best as you display and discuss the best of the big land, the best of the business sector over the next few days. Our government shares your ambition to foster economic growth, and we will continue to be your partner in developing new opportunities. Labrador is abound with natural resources, with such a rich culture, iconic landscapes, and most of all, your potential. And the greatest potential that Labrador has to offer is with its people. So working together, we will harness that potential to benefit the current and the future generations of all Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this opportunity. Have a good conference. I'm very confident about your future. I'm very confident about our future. Very confident about the future of Newfoundland and Labrador. So thank you very much.